What if I told you that the most powerful tool for unlocking unforgettable orgasms is your mind? Did you know that orgasms are not just a physical phenomenon, but also a psychological one? Think about it. Our brains play a huge role in processing sensations, emotions, and desires. But how often do we really explore the psychological side of pleasure? In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating world of orgasm psychology and reveal 4 mind-blowing secrets that will change the way you think about pleasure and intimacy. From the surprising role of expectation to the science behind the orgasmic refractory period, we'll uncover the hidden patterns and mechanisms that shape our most intimate experiences. So, if you're ready to unlock the full potential of your pleasure and connection, let's get started. So let's dive into our first secret. The brain is often referred to as the largest sex organ, but what does that really mean? Well, it's not just a figure of speech. The brain plays a crucial role in processing sensory information, releasing neurotransmitters, and ultimately contributing to our experience of pleasure and orgasm. Think of it like this. When we touch, taste, or smell something, our brain is interpreting those sensations and sending signals to the rest of our body. And when it comes to sex, our brain is processing a complex mix of sensory inputs, from the sensation of skin on skin to the sounds and scents of our partner. One key player in this process is dopamine, often called the pleasure molecule. When we experience pleasure, our brain releases dopamine, which reinforces the behavior and motivates us to repeat it. And during sex, dopamine release can contribute to feelings of excitement, arousal, and ultimately orgasm. But dopamine isn't the only neurotransmitter involved. Others, like serotonin and endorphins, also play important roles in regulating mood, relaxation, and pain perception, all of which can impact our experience of pleasure. So how can mental stimulation enhance physical pleasure? Well, for one, simply thinking about sex can increase dopamine release and get our brain in the right mindset. Fantasy, dirty talk, or even just imagining our partner's touch can all contribute to a stronger physical response. And when we're with a partner, the emotional connection and sense of safety we feel can also amplify our physical sensations, making every touch, every kiss, and every moment of intimacy feel more intense and pleasurable. Our second secret is all about the power of expectation. Think about it. When we expect something to be pleasurable, we're more likely to experience it that way. And when it comes to orgasm, our expectations can play a huge role in shaping our experience. But how does this work? Well, it all comes down to the way our brains process information. When we expect something to be pleasurable, our brain releases dopamine, which, as we discussed earlier, is a key player in the pleasure response. This can create a self-fulfilling prophecy, where our expectation of pleasure actually contributes to our experience of it. But it's not just about the chemicals in our brain. Our expectations can also influence our behavior and our perceptions. For example, if we expect a certain type of touch or stimulation to be pleasurable, we're more likely to seek it out and enjoy it. And if we expect to have an orgasm, we're more likely to relax and let go, which can actually make it easier to achieve. This is why studies have shown that people who expect to have an orgasm are more likely to actually experience one. In fact, one study found that women who expected to have an orgasm during sex were 3 times more likely to actually have one. So how can we harness the power of expectation to enhance our own pleasure? Well, for one, we can start by paying attention to our own thoughts and expectations. Notice when you're feeling positive or negative about a particular experience or activity, and then try to challenge any negative expectations that might be holding you back. For example, if you're worried that you won't be able to have an orgasm, try to reframe that thought in a more positive way. Tell yourself that you're capable of experiencing pleasure and that you're open to whatever happens. Our third secret is all about the connection between emotions and orgasm. We often think of orgasm as a purely physical experience, but the truth is that our emotions play a huge role in our ability to experience pleasure and reach climax. Think about it. When we feel emotionally connected to our partner, we're more likely to feel relaxed, trusting, and open to intimacy. And when we feel safe and supported, our bodies are more likely to respond positively to physical stimulation. Research has shown that emotional intimacy and connection with a partner can actually enhance orgasmic experiences. One study found that women who reported feeling more emotionally connected to their partners were more likely to experience orgasm during sex. And it's not just about the emotions we feel during sex, it's also about the emotions we feel in our relationship overall. When we feel seen, heard, and validated by our partner, we're more likely to feel comfortable and confident in our own skin, which can lead to a more fulfilling sex life. So why is emotional connection so important for achieving satisfying orgasms? According to experts, it all comes down to the way our brains process emotions and physical sensations. When we feel emotionally connected to our partner, our brain releases oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone, which promotes feelings of relaxation and bonding. This can help us feel more present and focused during sex, which can lead to a more intense and satisfying experience. So how can we cultivate more emotional intimacy and connection with our partner? Well, for one, we can start by prioritizing communication and vulnerability. Make time to talk to your partner about your feelings, desires, and needs. Practice active listening and empathy, and try to understand each other's perspectives. And don't be afraid to show affection and affection. Physical touch can be a powerful way to build emotional connection and intimacy. Our final secret is all about the science of the orgasmic refractory period. So what is it? Simply put, the refractory period is the time after an orgasm when our bodies are less responsive to stimulation and we're less likely to experience another orgasm. But why does this happen? Well, it all comes down to the way our brains and bodies process pleasure and relaxation. When we experience an orgasm, our brain releases a flood of neurotransmitters, including dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, which can leave us feeling relaxed and satisfied, but also less responsive to stimulation. The refractory period can affect our ability to experience multiple orgasms or maintain intimacy in a few ways. For one, it can make it more difficult to achieve another orgasm, especially for men. This is because the refractory period can cause a temporary decrease in libido and a reduction in the sensitivity of the genitals. But it's not just about the physical effects. The refractory period can also impact our emotional and psychological state. Some people may feel more relaxed and content after an orgasm, while others may feel more distant or disconnected from their partner. So are there any techniques or strategies for shortening or overcoming the refractory period? Well, yes. One approach is to try to stay present and focused on the moment rather than getting caught up in thoughts or distractions. This can help you stay connected with your partner and maintain intimacy even after an orgasm. Another approach is to experiment with different types of stimulation or activities, such as sensual massage or intimate touch, which can help to build arousal and connection. And finally, some research suggests that certain supplements or nutrients, such as L-arginine or ginseng, may help to improve blood flow and reduce the refractory period. Remember, everyone's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. But by understanding the science behind the refractory period and experimenting with different techniques and strategies, you can take control of your own pleasure and intimacy and experience more fulfilling and satisfying relationships. And there you have it, 4 mind-blowing orgasm secrets that can take your pleasure and intimacy to the next level. We've explored the brain's role in orgasm, the power of expectation, the connection between emotions and physical sensations, and the science of the orgasmic refractory period. By applying these insights to your own life and relationships, you can unlock new levels of pleasure, intimacy, and connection with your partner. Remember, sex is not just about physical sensations, it's also about emotional connection, trust, and communication. By understanding the psychological aspects of orgasm, we can unlock new levels of pleasure and intimacy and experience more fulfilling and satisfying relationships. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more psychology facts and relationship insights. And if you're interested in learning more about the psychology of sex and relationships, don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.